So this is week 12 and session 1, and we'll be reading the chapter 6. So I think I'll start by the time everybody settles. So practical teachings in the mental healings. An engineer has a technique and a process for building a bridge or an engine. Like the engineer, your mind also has a technique for governing, controlling, and directing your life. You must realize that methods and techniques are primary. In building the Golden Gate Bridge, the chief engineer understood mathematical principles, stresses, and strains. Secondly, he had a picture of the idle bridge across the bay. The third step was his application of tried and proven methods by which the principles were implemented until the bridge took form and we drive on it. There also are techniques and methods by which your prayers are answered. If your prayer is answered, there is a way in which it is answered, and this is a scientific way. Nothing happens by chance. This is a world of law and order. In this chapter, you will find practical techniques for the unfolding and nurture of your spiritual life. Your prayers must not remain in the air like a balloon. They must go somewhere and accomplish something in your life. When we come to analyze prayer, we discover there are many different approaches and methods. We will not consider in this book the formal ritual prayers used in the religious services. These have important place in the group worship. We are immediately concerned with the methods of personal prayer as it is applied in your daily life and it is used to help others. So this is a nice, starting that we are actually learning the ways how to do it practically in our daily life. And secondly, he's saying nothing happens by chance. So this is a big, it is like a big statement. So nothing is happening by chance. So this world is of law and order. It's again, world is inside out. So when we come to analyze prayer, we discover there are many different approaches and methods. So how we are going to, in our daily life, how we use apply things, and I think the subconscious mind power to heal the people or heal our own body. That is going to be the practical experience in this stanzas further. So prayer is the formulation of an idea concerning something we wish to accomplish. Prayer is the soul's sincere desire. Your desire is your prayer. It comes out of your deepest needs and it reveals the things you want in life. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. This that is really prayer. Life's hunger and thirst for peace, harmony, health, joy, and all other blessings of life. Such a beautiful thing, na? So, this is what he's saying. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for that they shall be fulfilled. So, what does he mean by righteousness? Anybody can explain or say something? What do you understand by the word? Anybody? Pushkarni, Amichi, Ramji, anybody? See, what he's saying is prayers are coming out from the deepest needs and it reveals the things we want in life. So we want in life means righteousness means something which we sincerely look for. And obviously when we sincerely look for, it should always be with the for the health, peace, harmony, joy. It should not be in the reverse manner. So that is called the righteousness of the act. Yes, Samji?
Righteous means that which is good for all,
Hmm.
that which is justified, that it is good for all.
Yes, on a larger scale.
Yeah. So vicious is the other part of it. So it is evil. So righteous is something you have done and which is justified by all that it is good, that it is an upliftment.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it is, of course, an upliftment. See?
it's completely yeah. It is inclined towards the good, the good. It is acceptable. Something like that.
Hmm. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ramji. So any other point anybody wants to say something? Pushkarni? See, he's written in the first page also. Okay, I remember a previous stanza in the previous chapter where he's written nothing happens by chance. So one in that stanza he was writing that all the circumstances, all the conditions we are only creating. So the subconscious mind is placing all the conditions. So this means again nothing happens by chance. So that means whatever we put our mind at, that is going to be that is going to come true. So we'll go with the next paragraph. The passing over technique of impregnating the subconscious. This consists essentially in including the subconscious mind to take over your request as handed it by the conscious mind. This passing over is best accomplished in the reverie like state. Know that in your deeper mind are infinite intelligence and infinite power. Just calmly think over what you want, see it coming into fuller fruition from this moment forward. Be like the little girl who had a very bad cough and a sore throat. She declared firmly and repeatedly, "It is passing away now, it is passing away now." It passed away in about an hour. Use this technique with complete simplicity and naivete. See, this is, I was reading, this book yesterday night, and I was myself trying this. Honestly, I literally had to understand what this he means by being a little girl. So maybe it becomes more simple because I think when the ego strikes in, I was not able to actually accept, honestly, that it will happen in an hour or so. I tried, actually, I was not able to, but I think when he's saying that it will come like a consistent practice of with coming with ease with our body. It's like mentally coming to ease. So that is why he's saying, be like the little girl who had a very bad cough and a sore throat. She declared firmly and repeatedly, "It is passing away now, it is passing away now." So I think the book has so many little inputs and very powerful inputs, and he's actually put it in a very happy and a easygoing way. It becomes difficult for us to accept because we have been it is like a struggle for us. We think like it is a struggle, but actually it is not like a struggle. It is training our own mind and cells of the body to feel in a different way actually. So feeling, I think, is concerned with the body. So feel different, it will automatically start shifting our mind with the body, right? Everybody is getting it,
Yes.
Divishri? Thank you, Pushkarni.
Yes, ma'am.
Divishri, are you getting it?
Yes, I think today it was my session. I think I'm getting so many things what I should do.
Yes. See, you know what? I understand. See, again, we are coming. Nothing is happening by chance. Okay. So when you are
Yes,
actively looking for answers, something or the other is appearing. Maybe this session is also appearing for that.
yes, ma'am.
No, so it is coming actually how you should understand that the immune system works for you. So how
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are going to, transform your own thought process in this way. So let's read
Yes,
further. It's very interesting. Your subconscious will accept your blueprint. So if you were building a new home for yourself and family, you know that you would be intensely interested in regard to the blueprint of your home. You would see it to the builders confirmed to the blueprint. You would watch the material and select Only the best would steal, in fact, the best of everything. What about your mental home and your mental blueprint for happiness and abundance? All your experiences and everything that enters into your life depend upon the nature of the mental building blocks which you use in the construction of your mental home. If your blueprint is full of mental patterns of fear, worry, anxiety, or lack, and if you are despondent, doubtful, and cynical, then the texture of the mental material you are weaving into your mind will come forth to more toil, care, tension, anxiety, and the limitation of all kinds. See, this is exactly what happened when I was telling myself that I was actually trying and testing. So somewhere or the other, I was very doubtful about it, whether it will happen. So actually nothing happened. That is what he's saying, limitations of all kinds. So I didn't, because my mind was literally, a little, uh, it was literally not accepting it. It was not happily accepting that this is possible in an hour. Because we have seen, long periods of sickness. But now when this book is coming up, it is coming like a miracle for me. I think for everybody that things become so easy. So, so I was a little doubtful, and so I was not able to accept it. So he's right. So the most fundamental, I'll try, tonight also. The most fundamental and the most far-reaching activity in life is that which you build into your mentality every waking hour. Your word is silent and invisible, nevertheless, it is real. I'll repeat, your word is silent and invisible. Nevertheless, it is real. You are building your mental home all the time, and your thought and mental imagery represent your blueprint. Hour by hour, moment by moment, you can build radiant health, success, and happiness by the thoughts you think, the ideas which you harbor, the beliefs you accept, and the scenes that you rehearse in the hidden studio of your mind. This stately mansion, upon the construction of which you are perpetually engaged, is your personality, your identity in this plane, your whole life story on this earth. Get a new blueprint. Build silently by realizing peace, harmony, joy, and goodwill in the present moment. By dwelling upon these things and claiming them, your subconscious will accept your blueprint and bring all these things to pass. By their fruits ye shall know them. Such a beautiful uh, it is like मुझे तो ऐसे लग रहा है it's like a prescription for us. His doctor has put us a beautiful prescription to train our own, mindset and change our own genetics completely. So such a beautiful. He has, done it with a very nice composition and a conversation between. It is a comparison actually. I should say, building a house and building a mental house, and the mental house is our own body. So how we build our body is actually making the entire thing happen. So, hour by hour, he's writing, you are building your mental home all the time, and your thought and mental imagery represent your blueprint. Hour by hour, moment by moment, you can build radiant health, success, and happiness by the thoughts you think, the ideas which you harbor, the beliefs you accept, and the scenes that you rehearse in the hidden studio of your mind. Amity, if you remember, last session we were discussing about one of the you started a practice of 3 C's, if you remember.
Yes. Yes.
Right? And the 3 C's are literally, the practice. It's again the practice of the mind. I'm not complaining. I'm not comparing. And what was the third C?
Criticizing.
Criticizing. See, so it again turns to this thing. How is your practice going on actually? Be honest with it.
Yes. I can say on a scale, maybe I'm at 7 out of 10 as
Oh,
of
that's
now.
good.
So I'm still practicing. Yeah.
But 7 is a good score.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm consciously practicing. Sometimes it happens that I start. I go off track, but again, then I try to come back. So yeah.
That's a excellent approach, I think. So that is what he's saying. Now, when hour by hour, moment by moment, you can build radiant health, success, and happiness by the thoughts you think. We are so attuned to think something opposite. Immediately it comes. So actually, it needs a lot of attention to to understand the concept of such healing, such deep core healings. Yes, Pushkarni.
Yeah, followed by the paragraph which you were reading, that get a new blueprint
Hmm.
silently by realizing peace, harmony, joy, and goodwill in the present moment. That in the present moment,
Yes.
and being silently feeling it in the present moment, we are going to get the new blueprint.
Yes.
He has mentioned it very simply and clearly, as that we make it complicated.
Correct.
So simply, in very simple sentences, like a daily routine lifestyle, he's explaining it very simply. We need not even talk, just like that, silently feel it in the present. Feeling in the present itself is sufficient.
He is writing it so
Very nicely
simply.
explained.
Actually, it is difficult to be simple, I think, at times.
Yeah, because we were taught and trained from the childhood
Yes.
to see things as complicated. That's why it is becoming to be silent, simple.
Simple.
I feel so, because we have been expecting some other issues, facing some other complications all the time in the things we want to make them happen. So we were habituated to expect complexities,
Yes.
but so simple it is. I remember Ramji is telling that life is beautiful and it's very easy. But when we are in the chaos, when we are in struggle, when we are trying to achieve something, we should be in that state at that moment. That is difficult.
But then when he's saying us, that it is all about the joy and the happiness, the perception changes, the belief system has to change. So that is how the blueprint is going to change now, because whatever we believe becomes a thought and that comes to action. Only when the belief shifts, then only everything else and the blueprint will shift. So because
Yeah.
hour by hour, moment by moment, if we are thinking the same thought, there is nothing shifting. So that hardcore thought which we have actually believed in something, that needs to shift. And it needs to change completely, because it's an energy. So energy can only transform.
Yeah, we shall break the pattern.
Yeah. So from a hard, being something hard, it has to become very light.
Yes. True.
So yes, so this is what we are going to, at least I'm going to practice this thing. Being simple as much as possible. Yes,
Yes, it
anybody?
works.
Yeah, it works. Anybody can read, please? You can read,
Yeah,
Pushkarni.
I'll continue.
Yeah.
The science and art of true prayer. The term science means knowledge which is coordinated, arranged, and systematized. Let us think of the science and art of the true prayer as it deals with the fundamental principles of life and the techniques and processes by which they can be demonstrated in your life as well as in the life of every human being when he applies them faithfully. The art is your technique or process, and the science behind it is the definite response of creative mind to your mental picture or thought. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Here you are told you shall receive that for which you ask. It shall be opened to you when you knock, and you shall find that for which you are searching. This teaching implies the definiteness of mental and spiritual laws. There is always a direct response from the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind to your conscious thinking. If you ask for bread, you will not receive a stone. You must ask, believing if you are to receive. Your mind moves from the thought to the thing. Unless there is first an image in the mind, it cannot move, for there would be nothing for it to move toward. Your prayer, which is your mental act, must be accepted as an image in your mind before the power from your subconscious will play upon it and make it productive. You must reach a point of acceptance in your mind, an unqualified and undisputed state of agreement. This contemplation should be accompanied by a feeling of joy and restfulness in foreseeing the certain accomplishment of your desire. The sound basis for the art and science of true prayer is your knowledge and complete confidence that the movement of your conscious mind will gain a definite response from your subconscious mind, which is one with boundless wisdom and infinite power. By following this procedure, your prayers will be answered.
Here,
This is
here
very
is,
nice.
yeah, he's, this in this above stanza, he's writing your prayer, which is your mental act, must be accepted as an image in your mind before the power of your subconscious will play upon it and make it productive. So actually, it should be, the idea should be constantly focused upon without any ifs and buts, without any doubts. So he's writing that it should be, you must reach a point of acceptance in your mind, an unqualified and undisputed state of agreement. So this is the point. That is why I think he's writing about the present moment, because there is no past. The past are all memories. The future has yet to happen. So what is there is the present moment. So when we start accepting something in the present moment, and we start accepting that this is what I want. So important thing is that we should have a clarity in mind of what we want. So once that is accepted, that this is what I am looking for, then I think the road becomes much more easier. Yes, we are going, up and down. We don't go with that flow, but still, when this book like it looks like a stamp or something, like when you have read something like this and you are actually looking for answers, then this becomes like a yes, oh, somebody has actually, it's a bestseller. So the book is actually a already a stamp mark that this is true. So it is only in our practice that how much we are aware in that moment. How much are we actually self-contemplating? Like Abhi Amit ji was saying
Yeah.
that he has reached that 7 out of 10. Though that's a good score. Yes,
And
Pushpa.
he is also mentioning that for us to know whether our practice of true prayer is sound or not, he is mentioning the state of our mind, that is the complete confidence that the movement of your conscious mind will gain a definite response from your subconscious mind. That complete confidence is the state which proves that our prayer is on sound basis, whether we are doing it rightly or not. Our state of mind, that is the state of complete confidence that we are going to get proper response from the subconscious itself, is the understanding for us that we are doing it right,
Yes.
for us to
Ab-
test while we are practicing.
Yes.
Shall I
Divishri,
continue?
Divishri has to understand this very good. By the time this book reading ends, she'll be. I see her hale and hearty, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So it will be so good, now. You just when you understand. Last time also I was saying you were not there in the session, that whenever I enter this book reading session or anywhere I am involved, I first prepare my mind that today I'm going to get something good out of it. So that way my mind gets attuned to whatever I'm listening, I'm literally grasping. So each and every word, starts sinking into us. So when it is not that once you close the book, it is gone. All these lessons should remain with you. So in the midweek, whenever we have the next session, the next week. So in the meantime, whenever you have time, now, if you read these this book again, and or either you listen to the audio book again, it will be a reminder, because as I as we before sharing also we listen, and in fact otherwise also I keep on uh, listening to it again and again. It is really powerful, though it becomes like the session is live at that moment in my mind, because when I'm listening to it again, after this came, after this one spoke, my mind goes like this, that how the session happened. But there are
Yeah,
so
I
many
agree with
things,
you.
है ना? There are so many things in this. We actually, maybe in the conversation, we miss on points of acknowledging the other person in the moment. But when we listen to it again, now we really, in fact, I was hearing to Pushkarni some of the topics. They were so deeply explained by her. Maybe I was not able to get at that moment, but when I understood, I listened to the audio again. I was literally mesmerized that, oh, this has so much of again and again to gain. So I really appreciate all of you to join, and I literally request you, share the audio sessions with the people as much as possible, because this has a lot of wisdom. Do share, and do write or something, comments or something, so that people read that what we are putting in the sessions. So if you have good takeaways from the weekend, do write something on the channel once it's uploaded, right? Divishri has to
Okay.
update one
Okay, ma'am.
every time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
In fact, I also, because we all are learning. This is a good time.
Yes.
Yes, Pushkarni, let's continue.
The visualization technique. The easiest and most obvious way to formulate an idea is to visualize it, to see it in your mind's eye as vividly as if it were alive. You can see with the naked eye only what already exists in the external world. In a similar way, that which you can visualize in your mind's eye already exists in the invisible realms of your mind. Any picture which you have in your mind is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. What you form in your imagination is as real as any part of your body. The idea and the thought are real and will one day appear in your objective world if you are faithful to your mental image. This process of thinking forms impressions in your mind. These impressions in turn become manifested as facts and experiences in your life. The builder visualizes the type of building he wants. He sees it as he desires it to be completed. His imagery and thought processes become a plastic mold from which the building will emerge, a beautiful or an ugly one, a skyscraper or a very low one. His mental imagery is projected as it is drawn on paper. Eventually, the contractor and his workers gather the essential materials and the building progresses until it stands finished, conforming perfectly to the mental patterns of the architect. I use the visualization technique prior to speaking from the platform. I quiet the wheels of my mind in order that I may present to the subconscious mind my images of thought. Then I picture the entire auditorium and the seats filled with men and women, and each one of them illumined and inspired by the infinite healing presence within each one. I see them as radiant, happy, and free. Having first built up the idea in my imagination, I quietly sustain it there as a mental picture While I imagine, I hear men and women saying, I'm healed. I feel wonderful. I have had an instantaneous feeling. I am transformed. I keep this up for about 10 minutes or more, knowing and feeling that each person's mind and body are saturated with love, wholeness, beauty, and perfection. My awareness grows to the point where in my mind I can actually hear the voices of the multitude proclaiming their health and happiness. Then I release the whole picture and go on to the platform. Almost every Sunday, some people stop and say that their prayers were answered.
So beautiful, no? This is so
Very
beautiful.
beautiful.
And I'll share an example of a girl who literally had reconciliation with her brother. It is not according to the healing, but how he is saying, na, having first built up the idea in my imagination, I quietly sustain it there as a mental picture. While I imagine, I hear men and women saying, I am healed. So this is something like I understand. You know what? I had a friend of mine who was not having a good conversation with her brother, and she was very upset. So when I told her about, all these things, as we were discussing, and I told her about to read the book also and listen to our this thing also, audiobooks also. So she said, I just sat down and I just started, reversing the reversing the energy because I was too much of anger. So it took some time, but I actually started sending some good vibes to him. And the day passed, and next day I was okay with whatever I had sent. So I was not in a very cranky mood, and I had dropped that hard energy. And the next day he came and he just hugged me, and he said, "You're my sister, and I'm sorry for the fight." And she said, "I'm zapped." So somewhere or the other, I can, understand that the picture which she had, imagined in her, the mental picture of that loving brother actually came true. So I think we should, all have children, have people around. And this is something wonderful we all can imagine. Somebody is coming up and telling us that I'm healed, I feel happy and wonderful. So actually this mental picture is being created in our own mind. And then it is coming forward. Right? So let's continue. Continue.
Yes,
Bhushan.
and
Mhm.
for every one of us, for every one of us while practicing, as it is mentioned here, the picture is the evidence of things not seen. At any point of time, one has to remember this during their daily routine life if they are hoping for any fulfillment of desire. The picture which is not visible in external world, but which is there as a mental image, is the evidence of things not seen. So we shall keep that faith. It becomes the
Without
evidence
worry,
only when it
without worry,
manifests.
yeah,
But
without worry, without
without worry.
tension, that
Yeah,
without
even prior to its manifestation,
yeah.
we
But
have to consider that as the evidence, as if it's done.
yes, it is done. And secondly, if you remember that incident
Yes.
where in the previous chapter where that man had, his hand got cut. So we should be very mindful of what we are asking in our prayers.
Yeah.
Remember that man who had
Yes.
whose child healed, but his
Yeah, I
own arm
remember.
was cut.
I'll give
Yeah.
my right